Well, good day, everyone. It's Tuesday. My name is Michael. It's the last day of April. We're going to be doing a foundational yoga class. And today's theme is grounding and embodiment. So, when we talk or explore getting grounded or being in the body or embodied, it has different meanings for different venues, but in the yoga world, to be embodied means to mindfully focus in on the body and to be connected to the sensate experience or the sensory perceptions. So, once again, to be grounded means to be embodied, and when we are grounded, we're experiencing mind, body, and breath right now, at the same time, right where you are. So, we're going to, in our poses, focus in on how it feels in various poses, how it feels to be grounded, what it means to be grounded, what it means to be embodied, okay? So feeling the body in contact with the earth, and in this case, with your mat that's on a floor, and observing, not changing, not doing anything to change, but just observe, and change can come at another time. So right now, close your eyes and feel your sits bones and your feet and perhaps your legs that are touching the ground. Notice how they feel as you are sitting there in your opening meditation, eyes closed. Gaining a sense of embodiment. Just relaxing into your seat, breathing in and out. Notice how your breath moves your body. And then from here, with the eyes remaining closed, lower your chin to your chest. Start to move your head and neck in a half circle. And once again, observe all the sensations you can become aware of. Bring that head and neck into a full circle. And reverse direction. Come back to center. Do some spinal waves while seated. One of the newest terms in the realm of grounding is a term called earthing. And earthing is getting connected with the earth, and it's taking your shoes off while walking barefoot on the earth, not on pavement or concrete or asphalt, but walking in the grass, in the dirt, taking your movements from side to side, starting to open up here. Now reach over to your left. Straighten that top arm. Extend through the side torso. And then come on back to center and go to the other side. Reach. Open up. Come on back up to center. Roll your shoulders. And then take your left hand to the top of the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. And twist to your right. Add a little spinal wave here. Opening up. Come on back through center. Right hand to the left thigh, left hand behind you. Twisting open to the left. Breathing in. Notice how this feels. Go back to feeling your glutes and your legs, your feet into the floor. Come on back to center, and then come into a forward bend. So just walk your hands forward. Bending forward, stretching out the back line, and stretching out the lateral hips, the outer hips. Now begin to sway from side to side. And then come on back up. Take your legs, extend them in front of you. Bend your knees, your feet are flat on the floor. Take your hands back behind you. You can have your fingers facing away from you towards the back or facing forward. I'm going to start out with my fingers facing back. Roll the shoulders up and back and down the back body by sitting up tall. Lift up your hips. Look straight up. Lower your hips back down. Do it again. Take it up. Inhale up. Exhaling back down. Again, lift up. Try to create a flat table here. Lower it back down. I'm going to flip my hands forward. You're welcome to do the same or keep them as they are. Roll those shoulders back. Lift the chest. Lift the hips. Lower back down. Inhale up. Hold it up this time. And release down. Take your arms, shake them out. Grab one hand and lengthen it from its arm. Switch, do the same thing, lengthen that wrist. And then once again, roll your shoulders. Take your legs, shake them out, and then roll them. Shake them out again, up and down. And then come on into table pose. And in your table pose, do some spinal waves. Then extend your right leg back behind you, your left arm forward, and exhale, bring them underneath, the elbow and the knee. Inhale, open it up, look forward. Exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, you draw it under. Inhaling, you open it up. Continue to move smoothly, gracefully, feeling that right hand, left knee, and left foot rooted into the earth. That's providing your stability. Inhale, open it up and hold it out. Lift that leg up as high as you can. Set it down. Go right to the other side. Left leg, right arm, same thing. Draw it underneath as you exhale. Open it up as you inhale. Just continuing to move gracefully. Reaching on the extension. Contracting on flexion. Now reach and hold it out. Lift that leg up. And set it down. Do some spinal waves. Breathe. Now curl your toes and come on up into your first downward facing dog. Lengthen so you're in the proper spacing between your hands and your feet. And then pedal it out. So walk your dog, giving yourself a little twist each time you bend one knee and the other. Now, still the movement of your feet and your legs. Bend your knees slightly. Reach your hips up and back. Bring the ears right between the shoulders, right between the upper arms. See if you can straighten your legs now. And then slide forward into a plank and back into your downward dog. And then again. And release back. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, moving back. Stay in your down dog. Reach your heels down. Lift your sits bones. Step your left foot forward. Spin your right heel down. And come on up into Warrior Two. Looking above and beyond your left fingertips, lift up the sternum. Tuck your left glute underneath. Activate your right quad. Turn your left palm up. Reach the arm up. Look up. Right hand walking down the outside of the right leg. Come into your side angle. Top arm, right arm, straight, strong, tricep engaged. Move that right shoulder back. Move the right arm back. You can look up. You can look straight ahead. You can look down. Whatever you choose. Take that top arm. Reach it back behind your lower back. Keep walking that hand and try to grab your thigh. Now take your left arm and reach it in the direction that your chest is facing. Take that forearm back onto the thigh. Take your right arm, reach it up. Come back up into Warrior Two. Straightening the front leg, sliding to the left, coming into your triangle pose. Hanging out here. Obviously, the top right side of the torso is straight, but you're also trying to get the bottom left side closest to the floor as straight as possible. Come on back up, straight leg, bend the left knee, and then take the arms overhead as you turn the left foot in. Release the arms out and down. Take them up again. This time look up. Exhaling, release the arms back down to your side. Take them up overhead, turning the right foot out, coming into your Warrior Two on this side. Breathe once again, chest lifts up, right hand turns up, reach the right arm up, left arm down. And coming into your extended side angle, Parshvottanasana. Creating a straight line from the outside edge of that left foot to the fingertips of the left hand. Move the left shoulder back, straighten that arm, engage that left tricep. And breathe smoothly, as though this is without effort. Take that top arm behind the back, work it so the hand is going towards that thigh. It may not even get there. Take your right arm and reach. Breathe here. Take the hand, or rather the forearm, back to the thigh. Left arm opens up towards the ceiling, straight up. Come on back up to a Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg. This time slide to your right. Come on into your Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Just hanging out here. Feeling the bottoms of your feet, how they're rooted down, grounding into your mat, just into the floor, into the earth. Come on back up, straight leg if you can. Turn the right foot in, hands to the hips. Come into a forward bend. Just hang here, breathing. Relax the neck. Now take your hands to your hips and bring your torso parallel to the floor. Come all the way up. Bring your feet together. Walk in place. Lift up through the chest, the sternum. Open up. Align your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your ears to one vertical line. Look straight ahead. Turn your palms forward so your shoulders outer rotate. And then take the arms up overhead. Release them back down. You're going to come to the top of your mat. Let me adjust my mat a little. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to do a salutation. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale into a forward bend. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release. Plant your hands. You're transferring your grounded feet to your grounded hands. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Plank pose. Hips are as high as the shoulders or the body's in a straight line without sagging your hips. Lower your knees. Keep your hips high and lower your chin and chest. And then push back up. And then do 4 more. Or more if you want. And then come into a cobra. And begin to sway from side to side. Coming back to center. Curl your toes, lift your hips up. Back to your plank. And from your plank, slide your hips back and up into your downward dog. Now reach your chest back. And if your spine rounds like this, then you need to bend your knees so you can lengthen the spine and bring it into proper position so that you maintain spinal integrity. Now come up high on the balls of the feet. Look forward. Right foot is going to step forward. And then your left foot. Inhale, open up, halfway. Exhale, release back down. Stretch out, hang here. Now take your arms wide. Bring your torso parallel. So that means if you have to, you bend the knees, but you have that long, integrous spine. Come all the way up. Reach the arms up. Look up. Palms touch overhead. Bring them down in front to the heart. Release the arms. Take them and inhale them again. Lift them up. Look up. Back bend. Exhale into a forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Your feet are grounded. Now you're going to transfer to the hands. Step your left foot back. Then your right foot back. Lower your knees, chin, chest, hips. Cobra pose. This time, bent elbows, just like last time. Curl the toes and come into your down dog once again. Now in down dog, as you know, you're relaxing here. This is a resting pose. You take a break. Lift the heels, step the left foot forward, then the right. Open it up halfway. Release back down. Take the arms wide and overhead as you come up. Palms come together. Front of the heart. Close your eyes. Feel the bottoms of your feet rooting down into the earth. Imagine you are growing roots, solidifying your position, maintaining greater and greater stability. And while you do that, you lift your chest, you open your heart a little bit more, you release the arms, turn the palms forward so the shoulders outer rotate, externally rotate. feel as your body moves forward and back and side to side. Perhaps you have to press your toes down a little more to maintain balance. Observe that. Just get right into it. Now bring your hands back to your heart and open your eyes up. And then from here, bend your knees. Lift your left heel. Lift your foot, cross your left ankle on the right thigh, right above the right knee. Start to bend the right knee more. Reach the hips back. You're bending forward, but not rounding at all in the spine. You're working your balance here. If you want to come deeper, come deeper. This foot that's lifted is flexed. You can take your hands to the inside of the leg, the knee and the ankle. Lift the sits bones of your glutes. And then come on up. Coming back to your mountain pose. Take a breath. Notice. Observe your need for oxygen. Bend your knees. Torso is still vertical. Right heel lifts up. Right ankle crosses on left thigh above the knee. Start to bend that standing left knee a little bit more. Reaching the hips back, leaning forward, but keeping that long, integuous spine. Take the hands to the insides of the leg. Come on back up. Coming into your mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale the arms overhead. Palms together down in front. Exhaling into a forward bend. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put a slight bend into the knees. And you're just going to come up halfway, flat back. Release back down on the exhale. Inhale up halfway, release back down. And each time you come up halfway, you're back bending. So you're working the muscles along the posterior chain. In order to create that back bend, you're lifting your shoulders up towards the ceiling so that you are squeezing your shoulder blades together. And you're going to start to feel the muscles burn or even ache. And if they do so pretty quickly, you need to keep doing this over the days and weeks in order to tone up the muscles in the back. Two more. Last one here. Hold it. Release. And hang in a forward bend. Now you can straighten your legs if you want. Or straighten and bend. And then from here, come into a squat. Keep your hands down for a moment. If you want, you can put blocks underneath your hands. You're up off of the heels. You're lifting the heels up. Start to walk the balls of your feet back so you can lengthen your toes, because sometimes the toes get crunched here. So what I want you to do now is see if you can climb up and take your hands up off of the floor. You can either put them on your thighs or you can use them for balance. See if you can get your torso vertical. Now, softly, No banging. Lower your knees all the way to the floor. Keep your toes curled. You're going to feel this stretch in the toes. If you can, torso is vertical, it's upright. If you're really feeling this, you can come forward, take some of the pressure off of the toes, and you can actually go forward and back, forward and back. And you'll feel this. So now, come onto your hands, lift your feet up, and move just your toes. So you can get some of the circulation back into that area. Then take the tops of your feet, put them down on the mat, sit back on your heels so you're upright, and then move your hips from side to side. Sit up tall, open up. And then from here, we're going to stretch our quads. I've been adding this in more and more to every practice because the quads on most of us get very tight and we lose mobility, we lose strength, we lose flexibility, and we want to keep all of that. So, just moving hips side to side, moving your hands back as you can, only if you can, perhaps bending your elbows, bringing the shoulder blades together, lifting the sternum, lowering down, making sure there's no discomfort. I'll put it this way, there's no pain in your knee joints. I'm all right if you have discomfort. Now, if you don't know the difference between the two, then do not push it. If you can come back farther, do that. And get a stretch, quite a stretch in your quads. Feel free to stay upright if you're feeling this stretch. Just stay vertical or slightly leaned back. Whatever you do, you take your time. Now, work your way back up. Come off of your legs, like taking your hip to the side. Bring your legs out in front of you. Massage your knees. Massage your quads. They may not need it. If anything, your joints would need it more. Shake your legs up, bounce them up and down, then roll them. And then let's do some leg work and some core work. Lay down on your mat. And on your mat, I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit more. See if I can. I don't know if that did enough. So, on your mat, you're laying down, feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent, wiggle the shoulder blades a little closer to each other, lift the hips and scoot the tailbone towards your heels, and then take your arms alongside the torso just to get yourself situated. You can feel where you are. Then bring your arms into goalpost. Now from here, take your legs straight up. And take your left leg, slowly lower towards the front of your mat. Touch the heel, and then bring it back up slowly. And then you switch. The right leg will come down. And when the right leg comes up and meets the left leg goes down. So it's very simple movement. It's a very easy version. And an easier version is to bend the knee and touch the toes and bring it back up. But that's super easy. For right now, what I want you to try to do is straight legs. Now, as you continue to do this, press your lower back down. So, we'll start it this way. Take your legs straight up, press your low back down into the mat. Lower your left leg, heel touches, low back stays grounded. So I want you to feel that, the embodiment of your physical body by engaging, becoming aware and engaging your mind, your body, and your breath. Rooting in. Notice how you are shaking in the effort to keep the lower back pressing down. Notice what else you feel. Perhaps you're feeling your hip flexors. Press that low back down. All right, hug them in. Hug your knees in. Wrap your arms around. Gently roll from side to side. And then bring your arms back into goalposts and legs straight up. Bring your legs, both of them, forward, not all the way, 60 degrees. Come on back up. Lower them towards the mat. Bring them back up. So you're not going all the way. You can go farther and farther each time and work your way down towards the floor. Or keep the legs relatively high, like that. If you want to touch your heels to the floor, do that. And if you want to really make it challenging, keep your lower back pressing to the mat. See if you can do one. And then hug the knees in once again. This time, separate your knees. Roll side to side. And then come into happy baby. So happy baby, you got the arms to the insides of the legs, but the hands are grabbing the outsides of the feet. If you cannot reach that, grab your ankles or your shin area. And no matter what, roll from side to side. And then straighten out your legs as best you can. They may not go straight, that's all right. Bring your feet together, take them wide. Bring them together again, take them wide. Now bring them together, and then bring your feet overhead. Perhaps your hips lift up, maybe not. But you're certainly working on a stretch. If your hips are up, lower them down. Take your hands to the back of your calves or your Achilles area. And then pull yourself up. That is, pull your head. Lift your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chin. Lift it up. Try to bring the head and the legs together. And then lower everything down to the mat, knees bent, bottoms of the feet to the mat. And then cross your left ankle onto your right quad, right above the knee. Take your left hand between both legs, grab the back of your right leg with both hands, clasping your hands. The right foot lifts up off the mat. Flex both feet. Pull the right leg in towards you. Press the left knee away from you. Imagine your right foot is on a wall, assisting you. Now take your shoulders and press them down to the mat. You can either take your hands behind your hamstrings, onto your hamstrings like I have it, Or you can take your hands and clasp them around the right shin like I just did. Both feet are flexed. Left knee is pushing away. Now, release that right leg. Take the left foot, the one that's crossed over the right knee, into your right hand. And set the right foot down. So you got the left foot in your right hand. Take your left hand to the inside of the left knee. Pull the foot towards you and the knee away from you. Bring both shoulders down to the mat. And release and relax. Set that left foot down. Take your arms back in goalposts and move your knees from side to side as you windshield wiper them. Coming back to center. Cross your right ankle onto your left quad, your right hand between both legs. Pick the left foot up. Clasp your hands behind your leg, either the hamstring or the shin, whichever works best for you. Take your shoulders, press them down. Flex your feet. Pull your left leg in. Push your right knee away. Keep working it. Bring those shoulders down. Lift that lower back. It's going to be hard to do. Lift the lower back and that will lift your sternum up a little bit. Keep flexing your feet. Pressing the right knee away from you. And feel what body parts are touching the mat. Just observe. You don't have to do anything about it. Just observe. And then release your hands, lowering the left foot, lowering the right foot. Windshield wiper again. Now, take your feet together, bottoms of the feet together as the knees open up wide. We are not done with our abs yet. Take your hands to the insides of your legs and gently press the knees down towards the floor. Take your shoulders and actively press them down. So you're lifting your sternum, your lower back is lifted up off the mat. Your sternum is lifting up towards the ceiling and up towards your chin. You're pressing your knees wide and down. Shoulders down. And then release. Bring your knees back together. Bring the legs in. Wrap your arms around your knees. Hug them in. Nice and tight. Now, from here, this is what you're going to do. Extend the legs long. Extend the arms overhead on the floor. Legs are Tadasana legs. That is, the toes are pointing straight up. Now inhale, your arms straight up towards the ceiling. So fingers are reaching up towards the ceiling. And exhale and roll up. And from here, start to lean back. Arms are parallel to the floor. Bend your knees. Lift your legs up. Lift your feet up. So the shins are parallel to the floor. Take your arms wide. Bring them forward again. Wide. Overhead. Take your left leg parallel to the floor. It's hovering. Bring it back. Right leg. Hovering. Parallel to the floor. Bring it back. Take both legs hovering. Parallel to the floor. Bring them back. Come into your half boat. Full boat. Two more. Half boat. Full boat. Once again, half boat. Full boat. Now grab onto either your shins, your ankles, or the outsides of your feet. You're still balancing on your glutes. And then take your legs and start to straighten them out. Take them wide. Bring them together. Open them up. Bring them together. Open them up. Close your eyes. With eyes closed, bring your feet together. Take them apart again. Keep your eyes closed. Now you're going to really keep your legs up, your feet up. Take your hands off your feet. Lower, down, sit up straight. So while you're seated here, take your hands back behind you. Push your pelvis forward, your lower back forward. So you get more of a stretch in the back of the legs just by being here. If we were standing, we would be in a halfway forward bend. So this is a stretch. So chest is open, shoulders are back. Legs are very active, and the toes on each foot are straight up and down, and you're spreading your toes. So, don't know if you can fully see me, but it's all right. And then from here, I want you to close your eyes and observe what body parts are touching. Touching the floor, touching your mat. Can you survey every area of the body that's grounded into your mat? Now, this is what we're going to do. If you're really tight, keep your hands back here and push yourself forward so you can either lean straight up or lean forward. If you're more flexible, you can bring your hands forward and start to work the depth of this pose. Now, if you're tight and you're like this, you are rounded in the lower back, which means you're going to be shorter in height. Just coming to here is working the depth of your pose. And this is a lot, and it's probably more of an effort than it is for someone who's flexible and can come here. So you have work to do, and just because you're not as flexible or stretched doesn't mean it's any easier. So, if you want to add a gentle swaying from side to side, you can do that. Notice how this changes the feel of the legs into the floor as you go from one side to the other. And as always, observe your breathing. If you can go deeper, go deeper. If you can go farther to one side and the other, do that. begin to work your way back up. Take your hands underneath your knees. You're going to lift your knees with your hands. So the legs are totally relaxed. Feet are on the mat. Knees are bent. And then once again, we're going to windshield wiper from side to side. And then from here, keeping the hands back here, take the hands back a little bit more and perhaps a little wider. Lift the feet and just move your legs in any which way, independent of the other. And come up into a seated position. And in your seated position, you're just going to sit tall, close your eyes, and observe. Root down into your mat through that which is connected to the mat. Any body parts that are touching. Breathe and then rise upwards, keeping that which is touching the earth grounded into the earth while the rest of your physical body lifts up through the torso, sternum lifting, obviously, crown reaching up towards the sky, and you sit tall. Now all you have to do, stay present and breathe in and out of your nose and feel all of the sensations that you feel, even the most subtle, even those that are not screaming at you. These may be unfamiliar sensations, unfamiliar feelings. Open your heart. Withdraw from your senses, moving internally. As your heart blossoms, your radiance grows, your compassion and understanding increase. Lay down, come into your Shavasana. Making yourself comfortable. Relaxing entirely, feeling the back of the body on the mat, from the back of your head to your shoulders, your shoulder blades, various parts of the back torso, your arms with the palms turned up, your pelvis and your glutes, the back of your legs all the way down to your heels. You are not separate from the earth. You are of the earth. And grounding means touching the ground, really touching it, even now. Not with just the fingers or the fingertips, but all the parts of the body that are grounded right now. Let the natural expression of the earth rise up through your body. And then from that groundedness, begin to move and grow subtly. You're in Shavasana, and the movement is microscopic. Just as a tree grows taller by first extending its roots, planting yourself on the mat, on the floor, which is rooted into the ground. Enmesh yourself in the earth like the shallow roots of a sequoia. Feel the weightedness of your entire body falling into the ground through all the parts that are already connected. Without your foundation, there can be no rising, no lifting up. Without being rooted, there is no center. Without that connection to Mother Earth, Gaia, the heavens seem so far away. So let your heart be the opener to permit yourself to surrender and root down as you rise up. So thank you very much for your practice. When you are ready, you can come out of your Shavasana. I would suggest remaining for another few moments, another few minutes. Thank you. Namaste.